Hello everyone to round number 7 of the 2017B NASA RallyCross Challenge season here in Canyon City, Colorado at the Negus circuit. As it's Josh Mertz bringing you the call as always for the Automotive Sports Network. We're going to take a look at our race format here today. We do have 9 cars getting ready to take part here at this very tricky circuit off of I-25. It's going to give us 2 quarterfinals of 6 laps apiece. You must take the Joker lap once. The semifinals will be 4 laps, and you have to take the Joker once. The LCQ is 3 laps, Joker once. And the final, like always, is 8 laps, 2 Jokers for all the glory here in Canyon City. Getting ready for the first quarterfinal.
It's the game. 6
Here
laps, Joker
in
once.
Negus,
Goddamn
it's
break.
Wetz, Carmichael, Kraus, and Mertz getting ready to go here in Canyon City. The 3 championship protagonists will battle towards turn 1. Remember, you cannot take the jump on the first lap of the race. Kraus battling Mertz, nearly gets pinched there into turn number 1. Let's see who's going to get the fight. Mertz will take the advantage in the Subaru over Kraus in the Citroen, and then it is the Mitsubishi of Wetz.
Nice start.
Clean start so far. Mertz trying to take all the advantage that he can over the championship leader, Kraus. Looks like he was squirrely there in the corner, in the Subaru. And into the chicane for the first time. They're coming to the first opportunity to take the Joker. Mertz iffy through the chicane. He flew the car through the chicane and loops it
End of what, 19 lanes?
in the 81. And this puts Kraus to the lead, the championship leader, now battling Wetz. And let's see who will Joker on the first lap of the race. Remember, the Joker's very tricky here because it's the jump and you get the most track position. And Mertz does not Joker either, but he's very upset in the 81. Looking to dispatch Carmichael. Looks like he gives him a little bump. And Mertz trying to get by Carmichael. Looks like he does successfully. 81 v 76 locks up the brakes into the final corner. As these two guys battling, coming to end the second lap. Kraus will still lead. Let's see if Mertz takes this corner much better than previously. Not really sure what happened to the Subaru, but he is off the ground, all 4 wheels in the Subaru there in the chicane. Kraus ran a 50.871. Wetz, who does not Joker either, a 52.430. Mertz looks like he does not Joker either, as we're on lap number 3, coming across flags. It's going to be very tricky to see if Mertz can clobber that gap back. He is down on points, as Kraus has, I do believe, 2-point lead over Wetz. But it's very tricky, as Kraus took the red plate after last week in Austin. And Carmichael. Looks like Mertz got lost it in the corner, and Carmichael got past him, or Carmichael jokered.
Halfway home, 19 lanes, halfway home.
But Mertz back to third. He ran a 51.737. Let's see what his lap time is this lap. 52.127. Wetz a 52.542, and he jokers in the 23. So let's see the Joker. He gets by Kraus due to, obviously, the shorter track. Mertz does not Joker either. So now we're going to see if Wetz can hold the Delta, or will Kraus take the fight to him. But I don't believe that Wetz is going to be able to have it. There's no Delta, sorry, between these two. It's going to be very tricky to see. We know Wetz is good. I don't believe he'd be able to hold this Delta, though. There is no Delta. As soon as Kraus goes to the jump, he's going to take the lead. 2 to go.
End of 4:23 leads.
Mertz pushing hard. 52.127. Let's see what the German runs this lap. 53.286. Carmichael parks the car in the 76. Jokering was Kraus, and he'll immediately go back to the lead in the 19. Mertz is going to Joker as well, so let's see if he will get by Wetz at least for the second spot. But remember, second does not matter in these heat races, and he does not. He's nowhere close. So Wetz holds second, and I think we're going to be in a formation finish here in the quarterfinal. But we've seen stranger things.
White flag, 19 leads.
And a Subaru takes such a sharp angle, basically jumping over the chicane to try and avoid, because it's bumpy, right in the middle of the chicane. Very, very bumpy. And if you can't get it right, like Mertz didn't get it right, you're going to spin around. So what I think he's trying to do is forego trying to get through the bumps and jump over the bumps, but I don't think it's clearly working for him. 46.127 for Kraus last lap. 52.5 and a 48. And it looks like Mertz parked it. We only have 2 cars left as Mertz has parked the car in the 81. And Kraus looks like he has an issue through the chicane. He still leads.
Checkered flag, 19 wins, quarterfinal number 1.
Getting ready for the second quarterfinal here in Negus. It's Living Good, Johnson, DeNice, and Valley, green flag. Let's see if the Colorado native running under the Canadian license leads us into turn 1. It's Living Good. Following him is Johnson, Valley, and DeNice. Very slow and tricky. Johnson looks like he mounted the exit ramp there, the landing ramp. Take him out of it. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Valley can take the fight to Living Good. Valley is very quick this weekend in the Honda. But it's going to be tricky to see. Tricky to know. Living Good holds the lead at one of his home tracks. Yes, we talk about him running under the Canadian license, but he grew up in Denver.
51 leads.
South suburb of Lakewood, near Colorado Route 470. You take 470 to 25 and you run about an hour south, and this is Canyon City. We made fun of ourselves as 5 years ago, we thought that we did not know geography. Well, all we knew was this racetrack was near Denver. The top 2 did not joker on the first opportunity on the second lap of the race. We'll have to see. Valley, DeNice, Johnson. Johnson jokered, but you'll put him nowhere close to battling DeNice for the Privateer honors. As remember, DeNice battling Johnson in the Privateer Championship. So I do believe Johnson holding that lead, but we'll have to double check. Living Good leads at the end of the second lap. Valley stalking him in the 24 in the Honda. 52.196 was Living Good's last lap. 51.9, so 0.2 of a second faster was Valley over Living Good. I believe Valley jokering in the 24. Flying over the Subaru. DeNice jokers as well. Where is Living Good? Living Good might be battling DeNice for the second spot. This is going to be tricky because we know DeNice isn't the quickest car. So I don't know if DeNice is going to be hindering the 51. I don't think he's going to pull over for him. There's no blue flag because they're racing for position. But Valley holds the lead after jokering.
24 leads.
Cross flags.
Halfway home.
Locks it up over the jump there. Living Good stalking DeNice now. But remember, Living Good has to joker. He's going to release himself, as you could not be behind the Privateer for that long. He jokers in the 51. There's Valley. Battling for the lead. Where is Valley? They're side by side now. Living Good's going to exit the joker. Will Valley make contact with him? No, but he runs it wide. Does Living Good to the inside? Goes Valley. Fantastic battle side by side. Exiting the turn through the dirt over the chicane, or the jump, sorry, into the final chicane. Coming to 2 laps to go. Living Good v Valley. Valley tries the inside. Could not make it happen. Wheel spin in the Honda.
51 leads.
2 laps to go for Living Good at one of his home tracks. As next week we go to his home track in Lakewood at the Proving Grounds North. That should be a fun race. But it's all right now in Negus. 47.569 to a 52.2, so the delta's about 4 seconds. 5 seconds, sorry, 4.5 actually, between the Joker and the regular course. And I think Valley had one shot to get it right, and it was that side-by-side moment. And the lack of aggression there from the 24, we've seen
Is this
him.
white? No.
We've seen him be very aggressive this season, but the lack of aggression at that singular moment
End of 5. 51 leads. White flag.
is probably what hurt him last lap. 51.309 for Living Good. It's right on board the 51 to the checkered flag. Looks like he runs it wide there, entering the dirt, as Valley slams into the mound there, the banking on the left side. He tried, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it. Living Good will win the second quarterfinal here in Canyon City.
Checkered flag. Transferring is the 51. Followed by the 24. Good race, Victor. Followed by the 10 and the 77.
For semifinal, it's Mertz, Carmichael, and Denice for 4 laps in Canyon City.
Tread it first.
Mertz blows first gear on the start. Drama already. Splits the middle between Carmichael and Denice, but it's going to be tricky because first gear is extremely important. To the outside he goes on Denice and put him to the lead, as the Privateers having their own battle in the back of the field.
That is good.
Really?
And it's very tricky. First gear is extremely important here in Canyon City to get the car rotated through the regular course chicane. But the Subaru, he has to dealt with the cards, or handle with the cards that he's dealt very hard to speak. Denice went off the track and blown tire for the 76.
That 181.
No.
Yeah, get going, Noah. Get going. Get going.
Wait,
get going.
did you lose a tire?
Yeah.
My tire's bent and
Oh.
He can pit.
what's the pit speed here?
You might as, you don't
There's
have
no
to
pit speed.
You don't have to abide by pit speed. You might as well just park though. 'Cause
And Carmichael in the East Coast Autosports Ford trying to get all the laps he can, but blown
you
tire
might as well keep going after you fix it because more laps.
for the
more
76. And it's
Hey,
interesting to see that
Get
A-
out of
if it
here by
fixes
the end
it.
of
a
this.
blown
tracks.
tire
Fix it.
in NASA Rallycross.
Still the LCQ.
Yeah, I'm just really bad in that corner. Screw me up twice now.
Denice and Carmichael. Looks like the crew taking their time, but they did replace the tire. He will be obviously off the lead lap.
Leaders coming up, so
And
just
if
be
two
careful.
halfway home, 81 leads.
So
You don't
81.
have to use the grid when you exit pit lane.
Use that little spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. Alright.
And Mertz is cruising in the semifinal. 50.930. As Carmichael
Just make
jokers.
sure the 81's ahead of you. He should be easy.
He is.
Yeah, it's fine.
is talking over the radio from rookie Carmichael to race control. But Denice is in second. But him and Carmichael got together multiple times. You saw, and I stumbled over my words, and I apologize for that. He got looped off the front bumper of Carmichael. Carmichael drove it into the tires. White flag for Mertz.
White flag 81.
And just a couple testing laps here for the 81, making sure the Subaru package is up to spec as he jokers in the
I'd
Subaru.
watch wets in the next semi if I was you.
As Carmichael and Denice, another blown tire. Not really sure what
You do it,
happened
Doug.
there, but Denice dragging the left
gonna
front
do it.
tire
Oh, shit.
on the Volkswagen.
He's gonna send it.
Final chicane for Mertz.
Come on, Doug, you can do it.
Race check, guys, please.
And the German will win the first semifinal here in Canyon City.
Checkered flag 81. Okay, now you guys can babble like retards.
The 10
Oh,
and 76
I'm a lap down, so it doesn't really matter.
to the LCQ.
Yeah, P3 plus 76.
Doug, what is so fucked up about your car that you're sitting?
He hit the tire barrier going into turn 1.
Oh, he's gonna hit it again.
4 laps. Joker
Second
wins.
semifinal. It's Valley, Wetz, and Johnson. This should be a good race between the Honda and the Mitsubishi.
Oh shit.
Yeah, right on the lights.
As Dylan Livingood
You
forgets
lose
to hit
obviously
the
why you-
light trigger in race control. Green flag. Hopefully there's no engine damage on the 24. He was overheating for quite some time. He blocks the 77 as we begin the first lap here in Canyon City. To the inside went Wetz. He looked on Johnson. Johnson runs it wide, so Wetz gets to second. And it's going to be Valley
Start is
v. Wetz. As Wetz looks like he hits the wall there in the 23, taking the fight to the 24 of Valley.
Wall.
Over the jump. And over the jump again, into the chicane for the first time. We're coming to the end of the first lap, and then jokers are going to be allowed. Valley sideways through the chicane, and out on the front straightaway, still holds the lead over Wetz. So the man from Indianapolis,
124.
who has
Joker
not
allowed.
won a race in NASA Rallycross competition, battling Wetz, who is second all-time on the wins list. Jokering is neither of them. Let's see what Johnson will do. Second place in Privateers. He will joker in the 77. And I do stand corrected. A couple moments ago, I did mention they were battling for the Privateer Cup. Denice and Johnson, they are, but Johnson is quite a few points down on Denice because Denice has won a couple races in the Cup this season. Nearly contact between the 77 and the 23, and Valley on the bank, and all out of shape, and upside down is Valley.
Jesus Christ.
End of 2. 23 leads halfway home. That'll be under review.
And Valley all over the track, and he looped it. I believe he rolled it in the 24. And contact between Johnson and Valley. And we only saw the tail end of that, but it sent the 77 upside
That was
down.
a racing deal that just happened between the 24 and the 77.
So Valley jokers, and one problem for Victor Valley. He is a fast driver. He's an aggressive driver, but when something goes wrong, it deteriorates. And a meltdown goes on inside that helmet. Wetz leads, white flag for the American.
End of 3. 23 leads. White flag.
I do believe he has not jokered. We'll have to see 48.571 to a 48.325 for Valley. Valley 2 tenths of a second faster. Wetz already completed his joker. And Valley trying to take the fight, but after he flipped the car, I don't think he's going to be able to have the gap. You see through the trees there. Wetz's gap over Valley. And Valley loops it in the 24. Johnson in third in the Privateer Mitsubishi. So it was interesting, but Chris Wetz has a chicane left, and then he will be through the final here in Canyon City. And it'll be Revolution Racing. I was going to say both Revolution Racing cars, but Livingood runs for MRT. The sole Revolution Racing car
Checkered flag.
through to the final.
23 will transfer to the final.
What happened, Victor?
Looks like Valley parked it, and Johnson comes home in second.
Looks like he's the front row. 3 laps. Top 2 advance. Joker wins.
It's like a NASCAR start. Johnson, Denice, Valley, and Carmichael. Green flag for the LCQ. As I stand corrected, Casey Lester finishes 9th. Car problem on the second Revolution Racing car, but we're going to race side by side into turn number 1. Johnson holds the lead in the Privateer Mitsubishi, but you know the other constructor car, Valley, will take the lead, and now Johnson is going to be battling his fellow Privateers. As Denice tries to take the fight to him. Into the wall goes Johnson, hit by Denice. Around goes the 77.
Only racing deal.
As Johnson hit the wall, it put him into the path of Denice. No penalty for Denice. And this is going to be a frantic battle to see who will hold the transfer spot. the driver that makes it through, given Valley, if we assume
24 lead.
Valley will hold the lead, the Privateer will win the Privateer race, as he will be uncontested in that race as their constructor cars for the other 5 spots. So it's going to be interesting to see, will Denice be able to hold this lead over Carmichael? Johnson struggling in 8th, in 3rd for Privateers. Valley Jokers, so take him out of the equation from high above. Denice hits the bank there. He tried to jump it over the jump and give him a couple car length lead over Carmichael. Jokering was Johnson, so put him to 2nd. He outbrakes himself and slams it into the bank, so immediately take him out of it. And the Privateers frantically battling to get this transfer spot coming to the white flag.
End of 2, white flag, 24 leads.
Valley all by himself for the LCQ win and the 5th gate for the Canyon City Grand Prix. It's going to be up to these guys to see who will get the transfer spot. Locking up the brakes was Denice in the 10. It's Volkswagen v Ford. Let's see who will take the fight. Both of them have to joker on the last lap of the race, so no alternating strategy, and it's going to be up to Carmichael to see if he can outbrake Denice, but he is way far back to do anything with it. Into the dirt, where we've seen so many calamity-filled races. No issue here. Denice holds 2nd. Bringing it home to win the LCQ will be Valley. And Denice
transferring as the 24.
Looks like he will transfer in Canyon City.
Along with the 10, who wins private honors for the Negus Grand Prix. Best of the rest is the 76, who comes home in 7th. That is a warning 76. To not do that after the end of the race.
And Johnson comes home in 8th.
One and final warning. And 77 will come home in the 8th spot.
Getting ready for the Canyon City Grand Prix. Philip Kraus, Mertz, Wetz, Livingood, Valley, and Denice. Green flag in Canyon City. Off the line, the 2 Canadians will try to battle to turn 1. No, sandwiching was Valley and Livingood. Livingood gets tagged by Valley into turn 1. He does not spin. It's going to be Kraus, leading Mertz, leading Livingood. Valley to the inside of Livingood. Nearly makes contact with him again. Wetz back in 5th. 2nd place man in points. Denice is 6th. And these two frantically battling like they have been all season. To the inside of Kraus goes Mertz. Hits the bank. That'll take him out of it in that corner at least. But he's still going to be side by side with the Canadian into the final chicane. Remember, with the rule change, there was no joker on the first lap of the race, and it's certainly proving dramatic. Valley looks like to the inside of Livingood. Couldn't make it happen. He twitches away.
End of 1:19.
Kraus will lead us at the end of the first lap, and what a frantic first lap this is, into turn number 1 once again. Mertz tries to take the fight to him. Contact. Valley forced himself into the inside of Livingood and takes the spot away. Jokering is Mertz.
Twice or once? Sorry.
Place.
Will he be put to the lead? Yes. So does Wetz. Wetz jokers as well, so we'll put Kraus to 3rd. Valley to 4th, battling with Livingood still. And this is going to be frantic. Negus always proves to be a great race. Locking up was Kraus. Mertz trying to pull away. He's got the clear track now. Wetz in 2nd, Kraus 3rd, Valley 4th, Livingood 5th, Denice 6th. Remember, he ran his own little race. He can run 8 laps and be perfectly fine. Mertz points it towards the tire barrier. It was a wide line. I think it might have worked. 46.6 was his last lap. Denice gets by Livingood. Where's Kraus? He's going to joker as well. From high above, where is Mertz? They're side by side, and they're even going into turn number 2. Or 3, sorry, turn 3. Kraus locks it up. Looks like Mertz has blown 2nd gear in the Subaru. That's going to hinder him. Gearbox issues all night for the German. And he's got to take 3rd gear through the chicane now, and that's going to be really slow for him.
End of 3:19.
Kraus back to the lead after the first round of jokers. Mertz locks it up again. Something's going wrong inside the 81. Valley up to 3rd. I do believe he jokered. As Wetz to 4th. Denice, and Living Good. It's going to be interesting to see if Kraus can hold this lead or if Mertz with a wounded car will take the fight to him. In the Subaru Impreza. Hits the berm on the inside there once again. Let's go on board car number 24, Victor Valley, and see how this track looks.
Cross flags, thank you.
As Kraus pulling away 52-0 to a 50.8. Kraus is flying, jokering his Valley over Mertz. And he's going to be battling Kraus for the lead tentatively. But remember, they're off strategy. So Valley will be put to the lead. His cards are played. And it's going to be interesting to see if Kraus is going to be held up by Valley. Because Valley, like I said, off strategy. His cards have been played. Let's see what happens. As it's Honda v Citroen.
End of 5:24.
3 laps to go. And Valley holds the lead. 51.625 for Mertz. Denice up to 4th. Living Good battling. Struggling in 6th. Kraus is going to release himself for the race lead again. Mertz hits the wall there in the 81. And it looks like he's blown 3rd gear, has Mertz.
What lap are we on?
On lap 5.
So the red plate of Philip Kraus
We're on lap 6.
holds the lead. And the gearbox issues are stemming further and further to be a broken car for Mertz.
So end of 6:19.
2 to go for Kraus. Valley holds 2nd. It's going to be interesting, as I don't believe Mertz has his second joker, has done his second joker rather. But he only has 3 gears, I believe, in this car. Telemetry reads from 6th to 4th to 1st. We'll have to see. I believe he's going to wait till the final lap. 2 joker in the 81. Denice 4th. 5th Wets. 6th Living Good. Running order has not changed. And the Canadian trying to bring home his 5th victory in the NASA RallyCross Challenge. But he's got 1 lap left. What'll happen to the Canadian? Hopefully nothing if he can bring this race home.
End of 7:19, white flag.
I don't know if Mertz has jokered yet. I do believe he has not taken his second joker, so it's going to be interesting to see if he will pip Valley with a broken car. 52.7 to a 51.8. He's a second slower than Valley. Valley pushing hard to try and hold this delta. Will Mertz joker? Yes, he does. In the 81, we're going to focus on this. This is the battle for the second spot on the podium. Mertz is going to pip him over the jump, but remember, he's got a wounded car. Side by side, they're going to exit the joker together. It's going to be Valley battling Mertz. Mertz goes through the corner. Valley picks up the throttle and turns him.
Penalty box 24.
As Valley turns Mertz, Kraus will win in Negus. Valley's going to have to take to the penalty box. Kraus will win his 5th career race. Mertz is going to come home in 2nd. Valley comes out right in front of Living Good.
I'm done.
81 P2.
Mertz 2nd, Wets 3rd, 4th Denice.
10 P4.
5th Valley tentatively.
10 early P5. And
6th
51
Living
P6.
Good.
I'll take a look whatever happened. Victor, what are you doing?
As race control certainly going over the drama that just happened. It was deemed that Victor Valley intentionally wrecked Dylan Living Good exiting the penalty box and also made contact with Mertz. So, per NASA regulations, that's a disqualification for car number 24. The updated finishing order is Philip Kraus, Mertz, Wets, Denice, best finish this season of 4th. 5th is Living Good. 6th is Carmichael. 7th is Johnson. technically 8th, Casey Lester, and then 9th, Victor Valley. Disqualified, no points. That will give Philip Kraus a 6-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, as he did finish higher than Wetz. It's going to be interesting to see as we go into Lakewood, Colorado, for what I do believe is our 100th race in the NASA Rallycross Challenge. So you might see a little bit of a throwback theme next week in Lakewood. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the NASA Rallycross Challenge here in the Automotive Sports Network. We hope to see you next week in Lakewood, but until then, so long, everyone.